This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Alison Langdon hanging out with us this morning.
I am still so fascinated by this ghost network that has just uncovered all these dodgy players. They've been arrested, 700 home raids over the last few weeks, and it all comes down to one young man who lives in Narwee in Sydney. This was the man behind the ghost network.
The creator, it's alleged, was Jae Ji-yoon Jung, a 32-year-old karaoke lover living with his parents.
Well, he's a computer geek, but he alleged he was driven by profit.
So, okay.
His saving grace is he loves karaoke.
That's the thing. You and him have something in common, Ali.
I wonder if he's talented.
We all love karaoke, don't we? But I was reading up on this story because I am fascinated by it, Ali, and I did read that he is living at home, 32 years of age, and he was still sleeping in a single bed.
Okay.
So is your issue still at home or the single bed? Because I think a lot of people are still living at home at 32, sadly.
At the moment they are. But I don't know if anybody, a time's so tight that people got to the age of sort of 15, 16, 17 and went, nah, don't have the money for a bigger bed.
Maybe he's never needed a double bed.
Oh, maybe he's never needed it.
If he's a computer geek, I would say.
He's probably not staying elsewhere either.
This brought back bad memories for me because I remember my room was right next to Mum and Dad's room when I was growing up, and then I had this growth spurt at the age of 18, and I basically grew a foot, Ali, in 1 year, and I was huge. And I remember Mum and Dad got a custom-made single bed for me. That was a little bit longer, and obviously no one else is using it because my room was right next to Mum and Dad's. So it's not like
I feel like there's so much there we
Isn't
need
there?
to tap
I mean,
into,
Mick the
but
Stallion.
we kind of want to leave it alone.
I don't want to leave it alone. I want to know a hell of a lot more about it. I want to get into it.
I was 21 years of age and still had a single bed. 13, 24, 10, I'd like to know how old you were when you still had a single bed, or if you know someone. If you dated someone and went back for a bit of canoodling and then you found out that they still had a single bed, give us a call, 13, 24, 10.
What was your setup, Alison Langdon?
Well, I had a single bed, but I left when I finished Year 12. I mean, there was no way that I was having a sleepover when I was in high school.
Right. Was that your rule or the school's, your mum and dad's rule?
Didn't ask the school. Dad would have had a shotgun out had something happened.
Same rules applied at our place.
Yeah.
No one was allowed to stay over. Strict rules.
Yeah. Although my older brother once had a girl stay over and then in the morning walked out, and my sister and I eating our Wheat Bix, and our mouths dropped open, and then Heath went to introduce and couldn't remember her name. My parents have never been so mad in their life. We never saw her again.
This is number 23. Say hello. That is terrible, isn't it?
He's going to kill me for telling.
Actually, we got a text message from Sam Mack. Sam Mack was 25 years of age with a single bed.
It reeks of sadness.
Was he living with his parents, or did he have a single bed in his own house?
I think he was with Mum and Dad still. Okay. I mean, that's the thing. If you're still with Mum and Dad, you can't get yourself a double bed because you're not bringing anyone back to Mum and Dad's house, are you?
You're a big human. You're not a child anymore. Ali, I don't want to... I mean, we can go on forever here, but Thomas Brian Ivey, he had a single bed. And tell us about your setup at home, Tom, what you had on the ceiling.
I had the bedspread, the Looney Tunes bedspread, and Britney Spears posters on the wall.
What was on the ceiling, Tom? What was on the ceiling, Tom?
No, well, I had like a thinspiration kind of thing, a Baywatch calendar, and David Charvet was on the roof as inspiration to slim down a bit.
Every now and then the blue tack would fail and Tom would end up with David Charvet on his face.
Oh, what a morning. Yes, anyway, well, keep your calls coming. Let's get some on.
I love it when you're awkward. 13, 24, 10.
Were the handcuffs at the base of the bed, or were they up the top?
Very good, Fitzy. Very good.
All right, we're going to take... Can we take one call now?
Sure.
Can we just get Renee in Emu Plains? Who had the single bed, Renee?
So my ex-partner had a single bed when we had our first child.
Oh, how sexy is that? Did he have stuffed toys on it?
No, but we'd have to squeeze into his bed and have the bassinet beside the bed when I stayed at his house.
You slept in it as well, Renee?
If I stayed over his house, yeah. We weren't living together at the time.
God, that is... Was
that
he
why
with
he's
mum and
ex?
dad?
Yeah, his mum and dad were upstairs in their own.
Oh, that's
Okay, thank you, Renee.
To have a child
Reeks of
in a
sadness.
single bed and to keep sleeping in that single bed.
All right.
While the cot's next door to you is unbelievable. Tyler in Liverpool. Did you have a date last night, Tyler?
Yeah, so I met up with this chick last night. Took her out to just a pub, had a little dinner. She invited me back to her house. We get there and things start to kick off. We get to the bedroom and there's a single bed. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay. So what's going on here?
Yeah. Tyler,
And Oops, sorry.
were you worried it was sort of a lack of maturity about where she was at her life, or were you worried about how much room you were going to need?
Both.
Okay. So you hit the panic button. Okay.
It was a bit of a issue. I was sitting there, I was like, oh, okay, going to need more room, but she's 4 years older than me as well, so I'm 23, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, she's living by herself. I didn't want to judge her or anything.
No, it sounds like you are.
I'm hearing a little judgment.
Yeah, I mean, you've called the radio station. How much room do you really need?
That's where you need the current affair. Liar. Belinda in the Hawkesbury, you've got a great story for us, Belinda.
Yeah, morning, team. Happy Friday.
To you too, Belinda.
Many moons ago, I was dating a guy, and the first time I stayed over his house, it was his parents' house. And so we stayed over, and he had a single waterbed.
A single waterbed?
A single waterbed. And let's just say, fantastic. The next day, I get a call from him when I had gone home, and he said, look, we need to have a chat. And I said, yeah, what's going on? And he said, look, the bed was wet this morning. Is there something you need to tell me? Implying, that there'd been an accident. And I said no. And then he called me. Let's just say the relationship did not last much longer after that. He called me and texted me later and said, oh, look, I've found a tear in the waterbed.
Awesome. Just awesome. As if you'd even called to say, did you wet the bed? Hey, awesome night last night.
Did you have an accident? No, I didn't.
Who knows what could have happened?
No. Well, waterbeds, weren't they for couples? I didn't know they did single versions of waterbeds.
Neither did I.
You're not even getting up to 2 feet in that bed, are you?
There's your next phone topic when you come around, Alison
Well,
Langdon.
does anyone still have one?
Great question. I mean, you'd do that on a current affair, wouldn't you?
Waterbeds. My mum and dad had a waterbed.
Did they?
Yeah. What a load of crap that was. And then it was like, then they brought out the waterbeds that if you jumped on them, it wouldn't. The person that was already in it wouldn't move at all.
Right.
But it was just, it was leaking all the time.
Weird.
Dad had to do our BMX bike punches and then also do the waterbed regularly.
Karen in the Sutherland Shire, hello.
Hello.
What's your story, Karen?
Oh, look, my best friend was 60 years old till he slept in a single bed. He moved out of home with his first girlfriend, his first live-in girlfriend when he was 60.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of romantic.
So did you say that was his first girlfriend at the age of 60?
Sorry?
Was that his first girlfriend at the age of 60?
No, sorry. He'd had a few girlfriends
Not really.
before. I don't know how they coped with the single bed.
Okay.
Oh, was it tough for him to get into a double bed, Karen? Did he struggle?
I don't know. I haven't asked him yet. He's only been moved out for 3 months.
Good effort.
He might be back in it very soon.
There is a
He
level
could
of
be.
cuteness to that, isn't there, Ali? That he's still 60 in a single bed, like.
And
in
I
his
like that he
flannelette
hasn't rushed into commitment.
No.
No. You got to be sure about these things, right?
Just wait till you're 70. My advice will be until you're in a nursing home.
He's rushed it.
He has, hasn't he? He'll regret
What room
that.
of the house does Mike sleep in? Is he down
The
in a
dog.
basement?
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.